going on, brother? So y'all know your nationality according to the Bible? Do you know your nationality according to the Bible? No. Say again, I can't hear you. Your race. What's that call you? Israel. Brother, you know your nationality according to the Bible? Where you want it? Okay, good. So, y'all know how to love the Most High? Keep His commandments, right? Right? Give me the book of everybody say we love the Lord, right? But how do we love the Lord? In the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 16. Alright? I'm gonna show you the reason. Because look, we can't just go to the Most High and say, look, I love you, but I think lie. It's actually steps we have to do to love the Most High.
The book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. It says, and hereby we do know that we know Him.
So we do know that we know and understand the Most High, right?
If we keep His commandments.
What?
If we keep His commandments.
Like the brothers teaching y'all that we have to keep His commandments. Come on.
He that saith, I know Him.
He that say that I know the Lord, right? Because a lot of people say I know the Most High, right? Hey, Slocky, can you get the book of Matthew chapter 15, verse 8? Because everybody saying I know the Most High, I keep His commandments. I mean, everybody say I know the Most High, I love Him, I go to church, but they don't really understand the Lord, right? Get the book of Matthew chapter 15, verse 8.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, and verse 8. Bring it out. And it reads, this people draw near unto me with their mouth.
So a lot of people draw near to the Lord with their mouth, right?
And honor me with their lips.
And they honor the Lord, right, with their lips, right? This is nothing but a whole bunch of mouth talking, right? I love you, Christ. I love you, Lord. You know, you're my Savior, this and that, right? Read.
But their heart is far from me.
But their minds, right, is far from the Lord. Why? Because they can say, I love the Lord, but then they go out and do things that are against the Lord, right? They can say, I love the Lord, but they still go out there and whore out their women, right? Whore out the daughters of Israel, right? They can say, I love the Lord, but they still can defile their body, right? Smoke weed, smoke cigarettes, get drunk, right? Be that glutton, eat a whole bunch of food, right? Especially food that's unclean. Right, so a lot of people say, I love the Lord, but they still go out there and do their own thing, right? So we got to ask ourselves, do we really love the Lord?
Book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse 2, verse 4. He that saith, I know Him, and keepeth not His commandments, is a liar.
Is a what?
Is a liar.
It's a liar. So when we say that I love the Lord, we have to keep the commandment, or else we will be found out a liar. Right? So we got to come back to the Most High statute commandments and really love the Lord. Through the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. Come.
The book of 1 John, chapter 3, and verse 18.
Bring it out.
And it reads, little children, it is the last time, as ye have heard, that Antichrist shall come. The book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 18.
Bring it out.
My little children, let us not love in word,
That is not love in just words. Read.
neither in tongue,
Go on.
but in deed and in truth.
But let us love the Most High in deeds. I mean the works, right? The things you got to do, and in truth, right? What is the truth? Y'all know? In the book of Psalms, chapter 147. Chapter 119, verse 142. Right? So we gotta love the Most High in deeds and in truth. Right? Read that out. So the Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law,
Now what?
and thy law is the truth.
That law is the truth. So when the brother was teaching the commandments, he was teaching the law, the dietary law, right? The law on marriage, the law on how to deal with your brother, right? How to keep the Sabbath day. Y'all know how to keep the Sabbath day? You went over that? All right, so I bring out the law on the Sabbath, right? Because the day is the Sabbath. You didn't know?
That's right.
And we have laws to keep and how to keep the Sabbath. Give me that in the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. And give me the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and verse 8. And it reads, remember the Sabbath day.
He said to remember the Sabbath day.
To keep it holy.
Now, when he said to remember, that means that don't let it slip from your thoughts, right? Don't let it slip from your mind. Read.
6 days shall thy labor and do all thy work.
But the seventh day.
But the what?
But the seventh day.
So do you know the seventh day? He said 6 days we have an opportunity to get all our works done, right? But the seventh day
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So do you know the seventh day? What's the seventh day? The seventh day. The seventh day. Right, but what is the seventh day? So the seventh day will be today. Right, so when you look on the calendar, right, it starts off with what day? Huh? Sorry, but the seventh day, right, is what? Saturday, right? So when we look at the calendar, it starts from Sunday on Saturday. So the day will be the seventh day, right? The seventh. So in it, we have laws to keep. Give me the book of Leviticus in chapter 23, verse 1.
In it, thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day.
So the Most High, he rested the seventh day after he created the world, right? So he said, look, you got to do all your work 6 days, but on the seventh day, right, which is Saturday, like I said, right, you got to rest, right? And by resting, you got to do what? You got certain things you have to do. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1.
It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
So a holy convocation is when you gather together with your nation of people, right? Go on.
Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings.
See that? He said that it's going to be a holy convocation. So on the Sabbath day, you got to come out, you got to congregate with your people, right? You got to put on the fringes, you got to, get your Bible, you got to come out here and learn and dwell together in unity, right? Get the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31. And it reads, And if the people of the land bring ware any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would leave the 7th year and the exaction of every debt.
Right, so it said that we wouldn't buy anything on the Sabbath day because we just read the law that you cannot work on the Sabbath day. So that means that it goes out for everybody. So you cannot buy, you cannot sell anything on the Sabbath day. That's working, right? So those things you also got to keep. Give me the book of Exodus chapter 35 and verse 3, right? Because there's other things you got to keep on the Sabbath day. Exodus chapter 35 and verse 3. Give me the book of Exodus chapter 16 and verse 22.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 35 and verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation upon the Sabbath day.
So also you cannot kindle any fire. That means what? No cooking. Hey, bro, you got some knowledge, right? So you can't cook on the Sabbath day either, right? Read that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16, verse 22. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread.
So when people knew that the Sabbath day was approaching, they started making preparations, right? So they gathered much bread and food. Read.
2 omers for 1 man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, This is that which the Lord has said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye shall bake today.
So he said, bake that which you shall bake today. Read it.
And see that ye will see. And that which remaineth overlay up for you to be kept until the morning.
So everything you cook got to be prepared on the day before the Sabbath, right? And then you say, so you just hold everything until the morning on the Sabbath, right? So you got food, you want to cook that food before the Sabbath comes, right? And then you just hold it until the end of the Sabbath, right? You just eat it throughout the Sabbath day, but you cannot cook on the Sabbath. Read.
And they laid it up till the morning as Moses bade, and it did not stink neither was there any worm therein. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is the Sabbath.
No, eat that today that you cooked the day before the Sabbath.
For today is the Sabbath unto the Lord. Today ye shall not find it in the field.
So that's how to keep the Sabbath day. Y'all know about fringes?
I've seen it, but I don't know what's the significance of it.
Alright, man, let's get fringes.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 15, and verse 38.
So these are right here, what you see on the brothers' garments, they are fringes, right? We're going to explain what fringes mean.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and beg them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments
Read.
throughout their generations.
So these fringes got to be put on the borders of your garments throughout your generation. That means what? If you're generating, these fringes got to be put upon the fringes of everybody's garment. I mean, your children, their children, right? Read.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
So everybody has fringes on. It could be different colors. Like this brother got on white. He got on black and silver. I got on black. This brother got on gold. This brother got on blue. Right? But he said, but upon the fringes, about the border of the fringe, got to be a ribbon of blue. Right? So it could be any fringes, but you got to have a ribbon of blue upon the border of the fringes. Right? Read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember,
And what?
and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
So these fringes is basically a reminder, because a brother, they're going to slip every once in a then, right? They're going to slip, they're going to forget that, oh man, I forgot, I can't cook this Sabbath thing, right? They're going to forget that they can't oil out their sisters, right? They're going to forget they can't defile their body.
Right.
So you got to look at the fringes like, you know what, I put the fringes on, this is a reminder that I have to keep the commandments.
Right.
This is a reminder that I am an Israelite, I am God's chosen people, and this is the things I have to do in order to get the kingdom, right? So we got these fringes a reminder for you not to slip, because you know we dwell in the flesh, right? Our flesh might take over sometimes, right? And we might sit there and like, damn, I made a mistake, right? But the fringes is a reminder that you got to repent and keep the commandments. Right, so y'all know about fringes now and why we got to keep it. We know about the Sabbath day. What else laws do y'all know about the dietary law or what we should and should not eat? Right? You know about that?
Anything you got to see, got to have gates scale.
Right? Give me the book of Isaiah 55. Give me Isaiah 55 verse 6.
This is the book of Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination.
Now you know about that, right? I'm sure y'all brothers don't dwell in that, right? So, you know, this Bible teaches about, it goes against homosexuality. Read.
Neither shalt thou lay with any beast to defile thyself therewith.
Y'all know about that too, right? Yeah, so we don't dwell in that. You know, that's for the heathens, right?
Right. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down unto her. It is confusion.
What?
It is confusion.
So we know that the lie down with beasts, with dogs and animals, right?
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, verse 10, Salakia, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall be he not diminished.
Right, so jump for that.
The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid,
Right? So, it said, if a man entices a maid, y'all know what that means, right? You know, you spit your little game.
Right.
You know, it said if a man entices a maid,
that is not betrothed, and lie with her.
and lie down with her, right? You know what that means, right? When you lay down with a woman.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Now what that means?
Basically, that's my wife.
Right, right. But give me the book. Go back to the 21 and 10. So it said, "You shall surely endow her to be your wife," right? Because now when you lay down with that woman, she becomes your possession, your wife, right? So that means that you cannot whore out your women. So once you start when you go defiling the women, that means you lay down with her, you're not committing no covenant with her. You're just sleeping with her, then you will sleep with the next woman. Now you committing whoredom in the nation of Israel, right? Because that's why this happened.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
Now you got rules in that, man. When you take a wife, you have to what? Be able to take care of her, right? Because when you got possessions, you got to know how to take care of your possessions. So that means what? You got to have a job, a house. See, brothers want to lay down with women and they be still sleeping in their mother's house or their grandparents' house, right? But the Bible said that in order for you to get a wife, you got to have a job. You gotta be well-owned, right? Because you remember, you got to endow that woman. I mean, endow means what? To purchase, right? To purchase that woman, right? You can't purchase a woman if you're broke, right? You can't purchase a woman if you got no money in your pocket. So you gotta be able to take care of that woman once you lay down with her. So it's thoughts in your head that like, look, all right, before I do this, I gotta make sure I got myself right. I gotta make sure that my finances is up to date, so I better take care of women. And if we bear seed together, I gotta make sure I'll be able to take care of that seed as well, right? Give the book of Genesis chapter 18, verse 18, right? So we gotta make sure we got our mind right before we start just doing these things, right? Because the first thing a man want to do is get a wife, right? Read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 18. That will surely wear away. Verse 19. The book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 18. And it reads, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him.
I know that Abraham,
that he will command his children and his household after him.
So he said, I know that Abraham is going to command his household and his children after him, right?
And they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him.
Right. So he said, look, I know that Abraham is going to keep his household in the Lord, in the name of the Lord. I know he will keep his wife, his children, and they raise them up in the commandments. That means that we should be teaching our kids, give the book of Psalms chapter 78, and verse 5, that we should be teaching our kids these things. Y'all got kids? Right, so when we grow up, we got to teach our kids these things also, right? So give me the book of Proverbs chapter 22. Right, got that? Right, so we know that we should be teaching our kids these things. Give me Psalm chapter 78, verse 5. Right? Psalm 78, verse 5. Psalm 78, 5.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 78 and verse 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel.
Right, so the Most High, he established a covenant with us, right? And he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children.
That we should make these known, like from the Genesis to Revelations, right? We got to make these known to our children. All the testimonies, all the events that happened to the children of Israel, we should make these known to our children so they may have hope in the Lord as they grow. Read.
That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in God.
That they might set their hope in God. Because now when you raise your children up into the law, statutes, commandments, and the testimony of Hamashiach, now they see the wonderful things that the Most High did to the children of Israel. By saving them out of Egypt, right? By saving them out of different captivities, right? Giving them their own homeland, giving them their own heritage and laws, right? Now you see that we teach our children these days, right? So they can have hope in the Lord that this is not our homeland, that we got our salvation coming, right? And our salvation is the kingdom, right? Teach your kids that the kingdom of heaven is a dwelling place for the Israelites, right? And a dwelling place for Israel that we may live forever and ever with the Lord, right? What you got? Proverbs.
God. And not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments.
What?
But keep his commandments.
Yes. So, but that they won't forget the Lord, the God, but keep his commandments. Read.
It's the book of Proverbs 22 and verse 6. And it reads, train up a child in the way he should go.
So he said, train up a child. So how old's your kid? One? What you got? Your kid's old. It's all cool. But look, it's not too late to teach them though. You got kids too, King? Right? But all right, when you do get kids, you gotta what?
Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it.
So when the Most High said, look, train up a child in the way that he should go, right? And the law, statute, commandments. So when he get older, he's going to continue to keep that law, statute, commandments, right? So you want to train up your children in keeping the Most High's commandments. That's a righteous thing, man. So that's what we should do. Oh, yeah, the question. About what was that? Zodiac signs?
No, just the whole like message.
Like basically, they're like different religions, right? So we don't dwell. That's like for example, like have you heard about the, like a New World Order, right? Where they try to make all religions come together as one, right? In the book of Genesis chapter 11, verse 1. Right. So nations can't coexist, right? They can't coexist at all. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 26. Right? Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26.
The book of Genesis, chapter 11 and verse 1. And the whole earth was of one language and one speech. And it came to pass.
So when the whole earth is of one language and one speech, right? This is what happens.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go, to let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone.
So this is when the one nation was under one, when just talk about Nimrod, right? You ever heard about the story of Nimrod? That's Tower of Babel, right? When he built the Tower of Babel, he made everybody come under him, right? Read.
A slave they had for mortar, and they said, go, to let us build us a city, a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the earth.
So he said, look, let's make us a name. So now when they come together, when these different nations come together, what do they want to do? They want to come against the Most High God, right? Read.
And the Lord came down to see the city.
So what the Most High did, he said he came down to see what was going on, right?
And the tower which the children of men builded.
Read.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
So he said these people is one. I mean, they're in one mind, right? One.
And this they began to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down and there confound their language.
See, so let us go down and to confound that language, go on.
That they may not understand one another's speech.
So the Most High, he's not with the heathens gathered together and celebrating one language, one God, with none of that, right?
Right.
So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth.
Give me the book of Deuteronomy 32.
Got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
Right? So the Most High divided the nations, right? Read.
When he separated the sons of Adam.
So the Most High, when he did separate, right? You got Leviticus chapter 20. So the Most High separates things, right? You say he separated the sons of Adam.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people.
So the Most High, he separates people, right? So the Most High separates people. He don't want the Edomites to dwell with the Hamites. He don't want the Hamites to dwell with the Amorites or the different nations I'm naming. He don't want the white people to dwell with the Africans. He don't want the Africans to dwell with the Chinese. He don't want these nations coming together, like even serving their wicked God, right? Read.
For Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Jacob is the lot of his inheritance, right? So when these different nations come together, they come together in wicked. But when the times will come to pass, when Christ comes, he's going to set his kingdom here on earth. We're going to get to that next.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
That is the same thought that Nimrod had, right?
That all should be one people. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed.
He wanted everybody to leave his laws and worship their God, right?
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
He said, so when these nations got together, he wanted everybody to worship their God. So he said many of the Israelites, they sacrificed unto idols, right? This right here, that's going to sacrifice to idols, right? Going to the Antichrist. Give me the book of 1 John, chapter 95 verse 6. Give me the book of 1 John. Well, hold on. Give me the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 15.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 18.
Right?
And it reads, little children, it is the last time as ye have heard that the Antichrist shall come.
So now everybody hear this conspiracy theory that the Antichrist shall come, right?
Even now are there many Antichrists,
Right.
whereby we know that it is the last time.
So people believe that this Antichrist is going to come and rise, and he's going to gather all nations together to worship one God. You know what I'm saying? He's going to take away all religion. Now you see that might be set up now with they got Islam. What do you got? And Chrislam together, right? Under Abraham, right? So they got different religion coming together and trying to take away. They really want to take away the Bible, right? They want to take away because they see the Israelites is rising up and they teaching them our inheritance and they teaching them laws and commandments, and they say, well, look, we gotta stop this thing, right? That's just teach that all nations can be all together under one God, and we can just worship the damn devil. Take the truth. They worship the devil. They're not worshiping the Most High, because if they did, they would be keeping His commandments. And if they did, Christ would be in here right now teaching the commandments, right? To all nations, right? So give me the book of Isaiah. What you got? Give me Isaiah chapter 2.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 96 and verse 5. For all the gods of the nations are idols.
All the gods, right? So all the gods right here that you see are idols. You got Christianity, you got Judaism, you got what's this, peace? I don't know what that is. It's like you got Muslim, Islam, you got all these different nations, right, under one God. They are not but idols, right? Read.
But the Lord,
But
the Lord made the heavens.
He said, but the Lord made the heavens. Right. So all these different nations that these leaders are serving, they are idols, right? Right? Jesus is an idol, right? That's not in the Bible, right? Islam serving Allah is in the Bible. Is an idol, right? All these different nations that these heathens are serving, right? They're gods of idols. It means what? They're man-made. Right? Images of stone, images of silver, right? Hand graven, everything, right? What you got?
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Read.
And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might.
Right, so it said our Lord is one Lord, right? There is no other Lord. Now you got now give me the book of 1 Corinthians, right? Chapter 3 and verse 8. Now you might got people serving different idols or whatever and calling themselves lords, but it's only one Lord, right? Read.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 8. Now he that planteth and he...
Don't worry about it. So give me the book of Isaiah 2.
Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established.
So it said in the last days, right, when Christ returned, right, it said the mountain of the Lord shall be established. Hold that real quick. I'm gonna get this out.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 5. For there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many.
He said there be gods many, right? But see, there be gods many, like you see everybody worshiping their gods and idols, right? So there be gods many.
And lords many. But to us,
right, as Israelites, but to us,
there is but one God.
but there is just but one God. Give me Ephesians 4:4.
The Father.
The what?
The Father.
The Father, read.
Of whom all things, and we in him, in one Lord, Yahweh Shah, Mashiach.
So the Father is the Most High Yahweh, right? And one Lord is unto our Mashiach Yahweh Shai. That's our Savior, the only begotten Son, right? So of course it's going to be God's many, Lord's many, but to us it's only one Lord, right? Give me that.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 4. There is one body and one spirit, even as ye call in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, one God, and Father of all,
That's Yahweh, right?
who is above all, and through all, and in you all.
So the Most High, He's above all, right? And He said, and He's dwelling in us, right? Let's go to that. Right. So the Most.
Isaiah 42:8, bro.
Isaiah 42 verse 8. Read that. Isaiah 42 verse 8.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, that thou art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. And I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
He said, I am, and no one is beside me. The precept came. So he said, I am, and there's no other God beside you, right? So these are the gods that people worship, no, but idols, right? But the Most High, He going to establish His kingdom here on earth, right? Hold Isaiah. Give me the book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 6.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 9 and verse 6. Chapter 6 and verse 9, and it reads, after this manner, therefore pray ye, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Now the Most High, He's going to establish His kingdom here on earth. So all nations is going to be gathered unto Him and worship Him. Something like what the wicked try to do, right? But the Most High says, no, I'm going to stop that wickedness, and I'm going to establish my kingdom here on earth, right? Read.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
He said that kingdom is going to come, and His will, which is the law, is going to be done here on earth.
And earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day.
Right. So the Most High said His kingdom going to come, and His will going to be done here on earth. Read. Let me slide. Give me back Isaiah. And verse 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 2, and verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountains of the Lord house shall be established at the top of the mountains.
Right. Read.
And they shall be exalted above the hills.
So this kingdom is going to be exalted above all nations. Read.
And all the nations shall flow unto it.
Now every other nation is going to come into the Lord, right? Read.
And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountains of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob.
So when the Most High established His kingdom here on earth under Christ, then you're going to have that real New World Order, right? You're going to have that real all nations under one God, and that's going to be under Hamashiach, right? Read.
And He will teach us His ways.
And He's going to teach us His ways through the Israelites, right? He's going to teach all the other nations where His ways going.
And we will walk in His path. For out of Zion, shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Now that's when Christ come back, every nation's going to bow down to Him. Right? So you got another question? Right, so this is when Christ returns. All nations going to bow down to Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, right? And He's going to establish His covenant, His government unto the whole world. That means any other nation that transgressed the law, statute, commandments, they're going to be destroyed. Something like that, right? And we're going to be the kings of that, man. Right. We're going to be the ruling government, right? How you got Esau as a ruling government now? We're going to be the ruling government, right? Give me the book of Revelation chapter 2, verse 25.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 39, verse 25. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. After that, they have borne their shame and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. God, when I brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies'
Right,
land.
you see that? Read that last one again.
God, and gathered them out of their enemies' land.
Gather us out of our enemy's land. Right now, we are in our enemy's land, right? We are serving the white man, right? So the Most High said, when He turned back the captivity of of Israel, and turn and give us and gather us back out of our enemy's land. What did that?
God, and am sanctified in them in the sight of many nations.
And He's going to sanctify us in the sight of many nations. So when you read, hold that real quick. Give me the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, right? Start at verse 1. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Right. So He said He's going to sanctify us in the sight of all the nations.
Then shall they know that I am the Lord their God, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen.
And everybody going to know that who are the children of Israel, right?
But I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord God.
So when the Most High pour His spirit out upon us and wake us up and bring us back to the homeland, all the nations are going to know who the real Israelites are, man. Look at Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Right? It said, then the righteous is going to stand in great boldness like a king. Go read.
And made no account of his neighbors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
So when the other nations see our salvation, they're going to be troubled, right? With terrible fear. Read.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom has sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach.
This is he. This is a nation that we had put in division, had made them slaves, had gave them different names other than children of Israel. This is them that are going to receive salvation. And this is the sons of God, right? Read.
We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God?
How is this black, these niggas, is numbered to the children of God?
And his lot is among the saints.
And his lot is among the saints.
Therefore have we erred from the way of the truth, and the light of righteousness have not sinned, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of the righteousness rose not upon us.
So the other nations are going to know when Christ returned and put His Spirit upon us, and when He established His kingdom, He know that we're going to be the ruling class, right? You got to preach that?
The book of Psalms, chapter 20 and verse 5. We will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God, we will set up our banners. Let Lord fulfill all thy petitions. Now, know I am the Lord. Now know I that the Lord saveth his anointed. He will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the Lord we will remember the name of the Lord our God.
Right. Said some they trust in many other things, but we're going to trust in the name of the Lord our God. Read the book of Revelation chapter 2, verse 25.
It's the book of Revelation.
Give me Isaiah chapter 60, verse 10.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10. And the sons of the strangers.
Right, so, and the sons of the strangers, you know what, the other nations, right? Read.
Shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have mercy upon thee.
Read.
Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually.
Come on.
They shall not be shut day or night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
So they're gonna. So it said that man's gonna bring to us the force of the Gentiles. That means all the gold, the treasure that they stole from us. It's going to be their job to bring it back into the kingdom. Read.
And that their kings may be brought, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee
One.
shall perish.
So what?
Shall perish.
So when the Most High established His kingdom, He said that nations that would not serve Him is going to perish. Means what? No more. Right? He's going to destroy those nations. Right? Read.
Right.
Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
So the other nations going to be utterly wasted, right? When the Most High return, right? And they do not want to bow down to the Most High, right? And His Son Mashiach.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. God, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Right, so the Most High going to have mercy on Jacob, right? Who? The 12 tribes of Israel. Read.
And will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of
So
Jacob.
these other nations, right? Some of them going to cleave to Israel. Read.
And the people shall take them, and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them.
So what?
Shall possess them.
Going to possess the other nations. Read.
In the land of the Lord.
And the what?
In the land of the Lord. For servants and handmaids.
Isaiah 54 verse 3. So the other nations going to serve the Lord, and the Israelites for servants and handmaids, right?
Right.
Isaiah 54 verse 3.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 25.
Bring it out.
But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
So look, the thing that you're learning now, the statutes, commandments, the Bible, right? Hold that fast. I mean, keep that in your mind. Don't let it slip until the Most High come. Read.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works.
Now, when you overcome the trials, the tribulations, the trouble, when you overcome all the things that your family may come against you, right? You got the heathens, your jaws, all these things gonna come against you. But when you overcome those things
And keepeth my works
and you keep the Most High's commandments to the death,
unto the end, to him will I give power over the
it
nations.
said to him will I give power over the nations. That means know what? That He's chosen you, your brothers. You'll have an opportunity to have power over the nation.
Right.
You have an opportunity to come back and be kings, prince unto the Lord, man.
That's right.
You have an opportunity to what? Control these nations, what they do, what they should not do, man. That you should what? Whip them with a rod of iron, man. They go off.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
With a rod of iron, read.
As the vessel of a potter shall they be broken unto shivers.
Now, in the book Isaiah chapter 45, verse 3. Isaiah 45 and 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 3.
out.
And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of God. Salakia. The book of Isaiah, chapter 54 and verse 3. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles.
Your seed, right, Israel, is going to inherit the what?
Shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited.
So now we're going to build up the kingdom, right? So it said our seed is going to inherit the Gentiles, the heathens, man. So when you look around and you see the Chinese man, right? You see the Arab man, the so-called white man. These people, you just having a thought in your head like, look, one day I'm going to rule over you. Right, one day you're gonna be bowed out to me, kissing the dust of my feet, man. So you gotta remember those things, but remember that we had to overcome. First, we have to overcome these things, because remember, this is the promise that the Most High gave to the children of Israel, that if you overcome these things, then you shall become kings and princes and governors in this world, man. Right? So it's no longer that we had to bow down to the white man, had to serve him. Right? You're going to be the ruling class. They had to come to you for things, man. Right? The curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15 on down is going to be reversed and put on the heathens, man. And we're going to receive the blessings, right? So that's the things you have to remember when you come to the Lord, when you come to serve the Lord. You got a piece of that?
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 11. that so all the heathen may know that is one who delivers and saveth Israel.
Right, and saving Israel. Right, so remember, give me a book of Isaiah chapter 55 verse 6, right? So remember, we got to come back to the Lord, right, and serve him, right? We cannot go astray, right? We cannot go have our minds wandering. We got to continue to wake up Israel and come back into the Most High Covenant and keep his commandments. Read.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 6. Seek ye the Lord.
So we got to seek the Most High, right? How we seek the Most High is by open up this book. Y'all got Bibles at home? Huh? You said no? You got Bible? You got Bible, King? All right, so we got to, so get a Bible. If you don't have the Bible, Lord's willing, next week, you'll come back up here, we're going to have Bibles for you, man. Right? So we got to get a Bible. You go to Barnes & Noble, whatever, or you get yourself a Bible, right? Or you go to Amazon, whatever, get yourself a Bible. Read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near.
So you got to seek the Most High while he may be found. Because remember, this kingdom is not going to last forever. Right? You got nukes aiming at this kingdom, man. Right? It's Christ is going to come and reign. So this kingdom is not, give me the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. Right? This kingdom is not going to last forever. So verse 7. Right? So you remember, this kingdom is only for a temporary time. Right? It's not going to last forever. People think that Babylon is going to last to the next couple hundred years, whatever. No. Christ is coming to establish his kingdom, right? So we got to remember those things, that we got to seek the Most High while he may be found, or else what? We're going to be caught out there, man. Right? Read that.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, for him Jacob held first on Salaki. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
So just going back into Genesis chapter 25, right? Read.
For Esau is the end of the world.
For Esau is the so-called white man. He said he is the end of the world, right?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So Jacob is going to come back and be that ruling government after Esau is destroyed, right? So once this kingdom done away with, then it's our turn, right? Get the book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 18, right? Then it's our turn to come back, man, and be that ruling government of this world, man, right?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 30 and verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
He said Jacob's going to come and be in rest, and none of these nations is going to come against us. Read.
For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee. Though I make a full end of all the nations, whether I have scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee, but I will correct thee and measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicine.
So basically, the Most High gonna come and I want to get this precept for the brothers. For the brothers.
It's the book of Sirach,
Hey, brother.
chapter 30 and verse 15. Health and a good estate of body
So he said health, brother. You listening? He said health and a good estate of body.
are above all gold,
Read.
and a strong body above infinite wealth.
So he said, brother, it's okay to have a strong body. You want to exercise, King, but now on the Sabbath day, all right? I like to exercise too, but we shouldn't do it on the Sabbath day, okay? Right. So remember, Sabbath day is about congregating, dwelling with your people, right? You know, keeping the Most High commandments, not doing any work. So you can work out tonight, all right? When the sun goes down, we can work out, all right? Or any other day, this is not the day, all right? Right, not right now. All right. So ain't nothing wrong with exercising.
1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 8. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things,
having promise of the life that is now and of that which is to come.
Right, so godly exercise. I butchered the verse.
1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 8. Right, 1 Timothy 4 and verse 8. For bodily exercise,
Body. So what you say for body exercise, right?
profiteth little,
So that it's profitable little because you can have a strong body, right? Nothing wrong with working out, right? But what?
but godliness is profitable unto all things,
But keeping the commandments, that's going to be profitable to all things, right?
having promise of the life that is now and of that which is to come.
Right? Because look, we can work out all day and all night, and we still gonna get destroyed. There's a lot of people that do that work out, but they don't keep the commandments. They're not keeping the commandments, so they still gonna be destroyed. Having a strong body is good for a brother or sister, or whatever. But godly exercise, but keeping the commandments, those things gonna profit you at the end of the day, right? So, like I said, it's a righteous thing that y'all brothers is out here, y'all listening, right? Because y'all remember, y'all Israel, right? You got to keep the commandments, you got to seek the Most High, right? So whoever don't seek the Most High is going to be destroyed, right? We got to have that thought in our head, and those things we got to overcome. Y'all got any questions? No questions? So, our job is out here. You got questions? Go ahead.
I didn't know like the Sabbath.
Say it again.
I didn't know the Sabbath.
You was here when I brought the commandment on Saturday, right? You forgot. See that? That's why you have fringes, right? So it wasn't about mine, right? See that? You forgot the day of the Sabbath, right? Remember, we went over that.
So we can't. Nope. I said I was asking if I wanted to like meditate. I can't meditate.
You can meditate in the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 62. Right? I'm gonna show you what meditate on. I'm gonna show you what to meditate on. Right? Genesis chapter 24, verse 62.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24 and verse 6.
You got Joshua. Give me the book of Psalms and the 119, verse 15.
And Isaac came from the way of the well of Laharan, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out and meditated.
What he did?
And meditated
So Isaac went out and meditated, right?
And-
In the field, right?
in the field at the eventide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw.
So Isaac, so nothing wrong with meditating. Our forefathers meditated, right? But when we meditate, we should meditate in the Lord, right? We should meditate in spiritual things and godly things, right? We should be meditating on, you got some people that meditate on money. You say what? A new car, lust, everything people want to meditate on, but the Most High say meditate on the Lord. Right? Give me Joshua 1.
The book of Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of my mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein. But thou shalt meditate therein day and night. Day and night.
That means all day and all night, right? You should meditate in His Word.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Right, so that's what you meditate on. Give me the book of Psalms 119, verse 15, right?
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 15. I will meditate in thy precepts and have respect unto thy ways.
So he said, look, I will meditate in thy precepts. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 32. He said, I will meditate in thy precepts and I will have respect in thy ways. So ain't nothing wrong with meditating, but you got to understand that what you're going to meditate in. You should meditate in these precepts. Meditate on how to keep the commandments. Meditate on how to serve the Lord, right? How to come out and teach your brothers how to serve the Lord. Those things you should meditate on, right? You shouldn't meditate on things that's not going to profit us, right? When the Most High returns, right?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind,
When you apply your mind, right?
thou shalt be prudent.
Thou shalt be wise. Can you go up 37?
Verse 37. Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord.
When you meditate, let your mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, right?
And meditate.
What?
And meditate.
Continually. In his commandments. And he shall establish thy heart and give thee wisdom and thy own desires.
So when you meditate in the Lord, then He's going to build you up, right? He's going to give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of His Word. So there's nothing wrong with meditating, but what you meditate on. When you set your affection, give me a book of Colossians 3:2. When you set your affection and your desires on worldly things, it's not going to profit you nothing, right? In the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 4. 37, verse 4 too.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 3.
Colossians 3.
3 and verse 2. And it reads, set your affections on things above,
Read.
not on things on the earth.
See that? So set your affections on things above, not on things of the earth, right? Give the book of what I call it? Yeah, Psalm 37, 4.
For the Psalms chapter 37 and verse 4. Delight thyself also in the Lord,
Right, so you have to delight yourself also in the Lord. Read.
and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
When you delight yourself in the Lord, then He's going to give you the desires of your heart, right? That's the commandments, right? So when He gives you wisdom, that's what you really desire. You don't desire the things of the world, man. The Most High can give you those things. Nothing wrong with it, but your desire should be in the Most High commandments, right? Read the book of Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 6. I believe verse 6.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 6. And it reads, add thou not unto his words. Verse 7. Two things have I required of thee,
Right.
deny me them not before I die.
So this is Solomon, right? He said 2 things I require of the Lord, right? Let's see what he said.
Remove far from me vanity and lies.
Right, so he said, remove far from me vanity, right? He said, I don't want to be around these heathens, vanities, all these cookies that are going upon the earth, right, man?
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
He said, I don't want to be at a poor state, neither I want to be at a rich state, right? He said, give me neither poverty or riches, read.
Feed me with food convenient for me.
Basically, he said, just give me what I need, right? Give me the understanding of what I need, right? Give me a little. I don't need too much. I just need something I can just get by in, right? Read.
Lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord?
Now, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 8 and verse 11, right? It says, lest I be full and deny the Lord, right? Lest I be full and deny the Lord what? Because when you rich, no, go back to Proverbs. So when you rich, right? Then what? You turn your mind turn away from the Lord. But then when you poor, what? Your mind goes away from the Lord, and then you want to do what? You want to steal, you want to be covered, you want to covet that little brother stuff, right? You want to do things because you poor, right? Poor people, they want the lavish things in life, right?
Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. Accuse not a servant.
So he said I want to just be at an average estate. I want to be content with the things I have, right? I don't want to be too much rich. I don't want to have too much power. I don't want to have too much nothing, right? I want to be just still in mind, right? Read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 11.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 11. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, in not keeping his commandments,
Right, so beware that you don't forget the Most High commandments. Read.
and his judgments, and his statutes, which I command thee this day. Lest when thou hast eaten and art full, and hast built goodly houses, and dwelt therein.
So a good house is a good house, right? Right now, a lot of people don't live in good houses, right? We live in little covers. We live in like a little townhouse, whatever we got, we in the ghetto. We don't live in no good houses like the mansions, right? The mini mansions, you know how the white people in the other nations live. Read.
And when thy herds and thy flocks multiply, and thy silver and thy gold is multiplied,
Right.
and all that thou hast is multiplied,
So, well, all these things multiply to you, right? Like you might get a good job, right? You might win the lottery or something like that, right? Right. Well, all these things is good. It come good unto you.
then thy heart be lifted up,
Then your heart gonna be lifted up, because then you're gonna be too proud, right? You might get enough money. What you gonna do with that money, right? You ain't gonna help your brothers out. You might go to the strip club, right? Spend a little here and there, buy some special jewelry. I'm not saying you personally, but I'm just saying our people, right? We want to flaunt our money, right? We want to go, we throw our money away so quick, right? Read.
and thou forget the Lord thy God.
Yeah, we're gonna forget the Most High, right? And when we forget the Most High, we forget His people, right? We forget the poor our people, right? We forget that our people are struggling, right? Not everybody's on the same level. Read.
Which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
Right, so so when you have too much things, like your mind may wander off, and you may forget the things. Hold up, this is the book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 24. Hold on, pull up. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse 17, I believe.
Mark 4:15.
Yeah,
It's the book of Mark, chapter 4, and verse 18. And it reads, and these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches,
Right.
and the lust of other things entering in,
Right.
choke the word.
See that? So you don't want to be choked by the lust of the things of the world, right? Because when you hear this world, when you hear this word, right, you're like, oh, this is good to me, right? I like this. I know that I'm Israel and stuff like that. But then your mind may creep off, and you're like, damn, I want some money. I want some women. I want to chase the women. I can't do that no more, right? Then the lust of the world will choke you, right, and take away the word.
And it becometh unfruitful.
So now this word gonna become unfruitful to you. So when you do want to meditate on these things, you want to meditate on the Lord, so you won't have the thought of lust, right, the flesh battling against your spirit.
And these are they which are sown on good ground.
In the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 18.
The book of Revelations, chapter 3, verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold, tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thine eyes with eye salve. Verse 17. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods,
So when people say I am rich and increase with good,
and have no need of nothing.
and they say I have no need of nothing, right? But when you got so much power in your hand, you're like, man, I don't need God. And what God gonna do for me when I already got everything, right?
And knowest not that thou art wretched.
Hey, we don't know that even the richest of our people, like got the Jay-Z's, the LeBron James, these rich people, right? They Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah Winfrey, their minds is not on the Lord, right? Their minds is on how can I get more. And they see the poor out people, but they don't care about that. They want to know how can I make sure that I have more and more and more.
And miserable and poor.
Yeah, but they really are miserable and poor, right? Because they're not serving the Lord. That spirit, right? As that spirit is weak, right? That flesh might be mighty in this world, but the spirit is falling from the Most High.
And blind. And naked. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire.
He said, I counsel you to buy of me gold trying to fire, right? I counsel you to turn your back and then turn your mind to the Lord.
That thou mayest be rich.
Now that you may be rich, not the rich of the world, but you may be rich in the spirit, right?
And white raiment. That thou mayest be clothed. And that thy shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
And you want to be ashamed of your nakedness with the sins don't want to appear. You want your garment to be white and pure. Like you know what stains on your garment. So get the book of Revelation chapter 18, verse 8. Get the book of Judah chapter 17. Give me the book.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 8. Verse 4. And I heard a voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people,
We got to come out of the ways of America. Read.
that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plague, for her sins have reached unto heaven,
We don't want to see the plague of America. Read.
and God hath remembered her iniquities.
And Most High is going to remember the iniquities of Babylon the Great, what people call America, right? Read.
Reward her, even as she hath rewarded you.
Let's see the plagues that come to America. Read verse 8.
Verse 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning,
Death and mourning.
Babylon the Great.
Death and mourning.
and famine.
And what?
And famine.
Death and mourning is coming to America. And famine. Read.
And she shall be burnt, utterly burnt with fire.
And when no bombs come to America, no nuclear bombs, she's going to be utterly burnt with fire.
For strong is Yahweh who judgeth her.
And the Most High going to judge his land. In the book of 1 Samuel 2 and 9.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, and verse 9. He will keep thy feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness.
Read.
For by strength shall no man prevail.
So he said he will keep the feet of the saints, and the wicked, those that want to rebel, and the other nations, right, they're going to be shut up in darkness. Read.
And the adversaries,
And the what?
and the adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces.
Most are going to break these nations in pieces. Read.
Out of heaven shall be thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth,
The Most are going to judge his wicked world. Read on.
and he shall give strength unto the king and exalt the horn of his anointed.
So when the Most High judges the world, then Christ's going to return back and reign. Right? With that, Kwame Shala.
Kwame Shala.
Kwame Shala.
Kwame Shala.
Kwame Shala.
Kwame Shala.